Trades, injuries, and the NFD proving that it's a bloated bag of festering water trash. Just me and my bitch. It's week 7. Ugh. Filthy. Interdivision play has begun. Kind of exciting. Not so much really, but kind of exciting. One division finds out how terrible it is. The other division simply thrives, with the exception of the guy who played Vincent Brown. Two games that were decided by less than 2 points, and the toilet bowl. We've got a lot to recap. Plus, a couple of guest analysts. A couple? Believe it, sister. So let's get it down.
Hold it now. Come on. I love the Pete Rock remix. Check it out.
Matchup 1. Poops Kids versus me. And yes, it is the Poops Kids when you don't reach 100 points again. So I wouldn't call it an easy win for me, but it was a pretty win for me. But is Chris tanking already? I honestly can't tell. I can't tell. But maybe it's time to not play Kobe Fleener as your flex play anymore. Like a good backup tight end maybe, but not a guy that you want to be trying to get a lot of points out of every week. He's no Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski, come back. Come back. God. Why? So, T-Rich rushes for maybe 4 yards per carry in this game and doesn't go anywhere with them because Indianapolis's offense is balls against San Diego for some reason or another. So maybe the T-Rich 30 rushes for 90 yards joke, we need some retooling. As for Chris, there's always next year, man. Play for next year. Get a good keeper. As for Blackman versus Mons Revis. Roommate battle 1 of 2 this week. Chris escaping with the victory. Narrowly, I might add. Why? Why is that? Because Chris started an inactive player this week. I mean, you'd think Stephanie would have been the first one to do it, playing Roddy White again this week, but nope, she was a little smarter than that. And Chris, you played Mike Williams. Good lord, Mike Williams. What must come to your head to think that you have to play Mike Williams? It's rough. It must have been that you weren't working. You're probably just wallowing around in your own filth from the night before, probably consisting of 3 6-packs of Coors Light, 2 packs of cigarettes, and 1 lifetime of disappointment. But congratulations on the win, Chris. That does get you something. And has anybody seen Doug Martin? I don't know who's a bigger disappointment, him or T-Rich. We'll find out this week. Abrapson? Noshan with 35 points continues to be one of the top picks, especially late picks of the draft. And now Justin Blackman, Slug Fact, leads all, yes, more than Peyton, players, averaging 28.8 points per game played this year. He only played 2 games. Max writes in big letters, how did Joey drop the number 1 overall player? Answer, put quite simply, he's on the Jaguars. That's real. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. Moving on. Third matchup, Vinny v. I can't even call you victorious anymore. You play well against the good teams, poorly against the bad teams. I don't get you, Vince. You only get up for a challenge. But 2 middling teams, Vinny versus Randy. Middling teams in the league go to 3-3. Definition of middling. Gotta love that. I'd say it's time to drop DeAndre Hopkins, aka DeAndre Dropkins, to the bench. But Vince doesn't really have anybody flex-worthy on his team, and apparently he doesn't like anybody on the waivers. Poor Amendola on Randy's team was KO'd on Sunday, worse than Ricky Hatton. Just a terrible knockout. And great call on playing Nick Foles. That's probably our plug-and-play of the week. And giving Randy 30 points. Better than Tom Brady and Peyton Manning combined. Easily. So great job on that, Randy. Ray Rice joins the likes of Doug Martin, Alfred Morris. Actually, I disagree. Alfred Morris is not a first-round disappointment. I think he's actually one of the top guys. That's a bad slug fact. But Ray Rice joins the likes of Doug Martin, Spiller, T. Rich as big first-round disappointments in the draft. And another game, another touchdown for Welker. Randy's really rolling in this guy. Gotta love him. He's 6 for 6 this year in 6 games. Maybe nothing more reliable this year than Welker getting a touchdown. And it looks like Andy Dalton relearned how to throw the ball, so welcome back, AJ Green. Good job, Randy. And Vince, you are terrible. Again, I hate you a lot. Next matchup, the toilet bowl. Let's pause and think about this, guys. 2 teams went winless for 5 weeks. I was really hoping for a tie here. Really hoping for a tie here. But in the matchup between Ridley Sucks, believe it, better change your name because he's not on your team anymore, so you can stop touting how bad he is, versus the Black Unicorns. Gotta love that team. In the matchup of the century, man, I gotta say, Stephanie's team came out really well. Would have beaten a lot of teams this week. I wonder what her record would be if she had to play all you losers in the no fun division for the first 4 weeks. And what a call to play Brandon LaFell by Stephanie, 21 points. I guess maybe it was a great play, or maybe it was a matter of, hey, who else is in my team? But we'll call it what it is. Julio Jones breaking his foot last week, so that way he doesn't have to play on Raphael's team anymore this season. And then Jamal Charles looking like the best running back in football, really. Through 6 weeks, his lowest game, slug fact, was 19 points in week 1. It's only gotten better from there, guys. Sadly, he's being wasted on Stephanie's team. So now, everyone who plays versus Raph fears to be the one who's going to give him the win this season. And it could be this week. It could be you. It could be me. Probably not me. Probably you. But in the game where Jimmy Graham was a focal point of the New England defense, smothered up by Aqib Talib, Colston manages only 1 catch. Sure, welcome to Dumpspell. Sorry, Steph. And just for the record, Steph, you are officially undefeated when you don't start Roddy White. Maybe let's make that a trend. Now in the next matchup we have Wilson versus Luca's best name yet. Finna flash more of these nuts. Solid name. Great name for Luca. It only took him 39 tries, but he nailed it. Just like the bar exam. So the first of 2 games decided by less than 2 points this week. And Luca wins the only matchup for his division, the No Fun division. You guys should be called the All Luca division. ALD. I'm trying to think of other funny things to make it up with it. Post them here. But Cody trying to outsmart himself playing Vincent Brown over Julian Edelman. I mean, there's really no way you could have talked me into playing Vincent Brown over Edelman. And his silly, I played Vincent Brown, so if Phillip Rivers tosses Vincent Brown a touchdown, then I get those points. Well, you're 0-2 when you use that strategy, so don't think the way you think anymore, Cody. But I love the diatribes. Love the Zenga posts. Bo averaging 8 points in the last 3 weeks, while Denarius Moore averaged 18 in the last 3 weeks. Yet, slug fact, Luca decided to put Bo in his flex. You are just very lucky the rest of your team is stacked, Luca. And the Chiefs defense has scored 115 points this season. The next closest team is Seattle with 78 points. Get the fuck out of here. That's disgusting. But apparently, side note, silver lining to this, Luca felt so bad for beating Cody that he decided to give him Calvin Johnson this week. Really nice of you, Cody. Really nice of you, Luca. And finally, in this matchup, the what I like to call the Slugs comeuppance. It was the Slug versus Eric, who I will not call by his team name because he is a name thief. but it was roommate battle number 2, and this one went to the wire. I was watching as each of them sat there doing nothing, because fantasy sports just involves us sitting there doing nothing. And after Eric was essentially in the bag with Peyton Manning scoring about 7 points, he kind of just went to his room, and we never saw him for the rest of the night. Sad. That said, Max, slug. Great game. Joining LUCA as the only team to have 2+ players with 0 points in 1 week, and this one won. So he's the only one who's done that. Not something you like to make a habit of, but I think anybody you play in place of your hurt guys is going to get you about the same amount of points. So Brandon Marshall saving Max's fire for the year with a 30-point game on a Thursday. Really great. And then Eric's team just looking like not so great behind Foster and Bush. I mean, obviously Peyton, but Foster and Bush is the real strength, and there's not much depth behind it. You got a bunch of number 2s there. But good matchup overall. And the Dirty Dominican division prevails for the 5th time out of these 6 matchups. So, as far as awards go, the Maxi will go to Cody for benching Julian Edelman, who's scoring like 20 points per game pretty much, for Vincent Brown. Terrible decision. Would have gotten you the win. And then, as for the Crab Award, goes to Max for bringing Eric down from 4-1 back down. Grabbing him down and bringing him up, smushing his face. You like it down there, crab pot. Good job, Max. And now we will go to our guest correspondent for the day. I think he's kind of angry, but he didn't tell me what he was going to talk about. So let's go right to it. Chris?
Okay, I played a guy who wasn't even wearing pads this week. Randall Cobb and James Jones got knocked out jerking each other off or something, and the NFL division should change its name to the MLS. But mostly, I just want to talk about LUCA. What the fuck are you doing, man? You traded the best wide receiver in football for the 5th option in New England and a backup running back on Buffalo? Come on, man. I'm seriously thinking we should just send him down to that 2-quarterback, 3-defense league that my little brother is playing in. Cody, did you finish on his face or his back? No sound effects, no gimmicks this week, just fucking hate. LUCA, light a goddamn candle, because your ass stinks.
Thanks, Chris. That was terrible. Previews for the week. You're all gonna lose. That's it. And now, for something completely different.
Hi, I LUCA. This LUCA time for story. Time for story nice. Me trade Megatron. Me no like Megatron because he hurt. How dare he? No one get hurt in NFL. Make LUCA face red. No one make LUCA face red. Except Brittany. She is the best. Until me hate her again next week. Then, me love. But me no love Megatron. Tiny Eyes gave LUCA doo-doo caca backups for Megatron. Everybody mad. But here is secret. No one but LUCA knows. LUCA like doo-doo caca backups. Why you think me roster Rashad Mendenhall and Andre Ellington? That no bite me in butt. Anyway, me gotta make feces on ground. Time for story. Over.
That was great, LUCA. Now then, running a little hot this week. So much clamoring for this video. I guess we're doing something right. So, I got to skip recaps this week. Previews, actually. Not recaps. Did recaps. Fuck me. We're skipping previews. Forgot to tell you guys, suck it!